Hello and welcome to the Exalted Empress Tarot. Today we are doing New Year, New Love. And we're going to go over how you meet this person and what this person is like. So, before we get into that, let's look at each pile. We have pile number 1, this lovely pink and white stone. We have pile number 2 with this moonstone. And pile number 3, the orange and white calcite here. Ooh. Okay. So pick pile either 1, 2, or 3. You can pause if you need a little bit more time to decide. And I will see you in a moment in your reading. Hello, group number 1. If you picked the first pile or you picked that stone, you are in the right place. So, if you haven't been to one of my readings before, I'd like to have a oracle card to start off with, and this will be the kind of theme for your whole reading, and then this is your oracle deck for the end of the reading, and this will summarize everything, but we won't flip that over just yet. Then here I'm going to have 2 lines. The first line is going to be how you meet, and then the second line of cards will be what they are like. So starting off with your first oracle card, we have Primavera, she who begins. So we're going to go all the way to the back of this book with her name, and it says, Primavera, she who begins, celebrates the birth of all things in nature. She welcomes a rising sun as the herald of each new day. Delicate vines echo the fine chain she wears as her crown. Rather than become a part of the vines, she moves into the next moment. Everything she honors has a fresh start. The grapes will be transformed into wine. The butterflies will lay eggs for the next generation of cultivators. All things in her purview launch something else, so Primavera rejoices in their potentials of all things being. Okay, so definitely seeing a new person for sure in the upcoming year. So if that's what you're looking for, we're getting a lot of indicators of that. If you're already in a relationship, maybe not this pile. So this card urges you to get started. Whatever has been on your mind or in your heart, this is the moment to begin. Commit to the journey ahead by facing the dawn. You are being called forth to set the match to the fuse. It's time to light things up and take the next bold step. Spread your wings and put a smile on your face as you greet the next good thing coming into your life. Like Primavera, open yourself to beginnings. It's time to actualize your potential. So I don't know, group number 1, if you have been holding back a little bit in your love life, if you have been, thinking about waiting until the new year in order to meet someone new, but either way, that may be a good thing. Your timing in looking for someone new may be resonating with that person coming in. So let's go ahead and pull. Ooh, okay. That is way too many cards. Let's do some of the ones that came upright. We have Page of Pentacles, 3 of Swords in reverse, the Tower upright, the 9 of Swords in reverse, the Ace of Wands, and okay, this doesn't really fit in your lineup, but I'm going to, it showed upright, okay, so I'm going to add this one here. How are we going to do that? Can you see this one here? Probably not. Just know that this 9 of Wands is here. There's not, oh, you know what? Why don't we do this? It's like a bonus card. Can you see this one here? No. What if I put it over here? Okay, cool. We're going to leave it there. You guys get a bonus card. Do not tell the other groups. And we'll leave it there for now. So this is how you meet them. And, you know, I'm really excited for how these cards came out. So the Page of Pentacles, I'm seeing that you and maybe your other person as well, but I feel like this is a time where you're building something financially for yourself, or you're building your life on a very like material level. So maybe you're feeling more steady at home with what you have. Maybe you decided to buy a new place, or you're renting in a better area than you usually have before. Your job is set up, things like that. The stuff that should be automatic, right? Like you have work, you're getting paid, you're doing all that stuff. All that stuff is being set up as foundation, and you're going to be setting up this foundation and being in a good path with that when you meet this person. With the Three of Swords reversed and also with the Tower, I'm going to go ahead and read those together. I feel like there may have already been some sort of falling out of a relationship, but either it was mutual to begin with, there wasn't bad blood in that, or when you get to the point when you're no longer feeling upset about it, that's when that new person is going to come in. It's when that whole structure, whatever you have them, kind of disengages, right? So it may not be that like a breakup and then you immediately see this person. It's going to be whenever you kind of feel neutral about that situation and all of the ties have already kind of dissolved. So I'm feeling that, you're going to feel very steady at the time that you meet this person all around, because you have that support, you have that groundedness in your life. You've already have been building things outside of looking for any romantic what's that, and whatever structure you did have romantically with another person will have already been dissolved in your mind, and there won't be any lingering feelings when you meet this individual. With the Nine of Swords in reverse, I do feel like there may be some naysaying that you were prone to for yourself. You may have been beating yourself up emotionally, either from the end of the relationship that you had previously, or for not having the foundations that you needed. I'm actually thinking about it now and having those two things together. Your foundation may have been really tied with the relationship you had before. Even if it ended mutually and cordially, there may have just been a lot of tie-ins between you and that person. It may have been a longer relationship. Maybe it was, sometimes when we're in really steady things, we get very comfortable, and we all can relate to that, right? So it may have been a situation where things felt great and supportive in that old relationship, but it just wasn't right. And so it's really more kind of going through all of these steps of getting things kind of untethered between you and that person. It may not have been super emotional, at least on the surface. It wasn't like a sudden, like, oh, I didn't know they were leaving. But there may have been a lot of still self-doubt every single time you had to go back and realize, oh, that person still has this. Oh shoot, we still share this account. Oh goodness, I totally realized when we had some tie still, and even if things are okay, separating, there may have been that little bit of anxiety of, am I doing the right thing? Am I moving in the right way? But I'm seeing with the Nine of Swords in reverse that, again, when you meet this person, you're done with that. That cycle is over. So what I'm trying to say with all these cards is that you're going to have a clean slate. That's really what it is. You're going to have a clean slate with this new person coming in. That's what it's going to feel like when you meet them, because you have already moved out of that transition phase and all those things you had with the other individual. So then we have the Ace of Wands. So this is just kind of cute, in my opinion. So the Ace of Wands, it's like a new passion, it can be a new thought, a new idea, a new person, but it's a new passion at the end of the day. So I'm feeling like you're going to meet this person and you're going to know right away, like, oh, I'm really excited about them. Maybe not immediately, oh, they're my soulmate from the get-go, but definitely, oh, this person's really interesting. I'm really intrigued by them. I definitely want to talk more to this individual and kind of see what's going on there. And then, of course, your bonus card over here of 9 of Wands. So 9 of Wands is kind of feeling a little beat up after a situation. Like, a lot of things have happened. We've gone through a lot. And we're kind of weathered at the end of that situation. Now, like I said, when you meet them, you're going to feel very stable and supported, and everything else. And with the Primavera card, you're feeling like you're ready to move into this new state, this new timing with this individual. So I feel like you may not be as worn down and pulled down in your feelings as you may have been previously, but I think in this case, I would interpret this more as you feel like you've gone through a lot. You've learned a lot. You've gone through a lot of lessons with your previous relationship. You've learned everything you need to learn about how to be with another person fully in multiple different areas. And so you're kind of weather worn in that gained wisdom type of way. And so you feel like you've really grown, and it may have been hard, and not because the relationship was like hard, but because you've been so deeply with this other person and were still able to recognize that even though you had two mature people together, maybe that just wasn't the right fit, and have moved on, but you have all these lessons and wisdom with you now. So I feel like with this card and with this relationship and this new person, you will be moving forward again with a clean slate, and then also with a lot of learned wisdom from your past relationships. So now let's get into what they will be like. So we're gonna do like personality, demeanor, that type of thing. So hopefully that's not a disappointment to anybody. I'm not gonna do height and hair color because, to be quite honest, I don't think I can predict that the same way for everybody, right? But I'm sure we can get some insights into their demeanor, maybe some things you have in common. Oh, come on, Spirit. There we go. I really love these cards. These cards are, they're both from the same person. By the way, I'm not sponsored. They're called Serious Tarot Online, and I just absolutely love these decks. I'm gonna count that. The Sun. Ooh, good cards. Okay. We love that you're getting a lot of major arcana cards right now. So I'll go ahead and explain that to you in a bit. But yeah, I absolutely love these cards. I hope you love them too, because they will be popping up a lot. No, ma'am. Sorry, those sliding off cards don't count. Let's do these. We have 4 of Wands. Look at that. The Devil in reverse. These are, I shouldn't be giving it away. But they're very good cards. Oh, interesting. This card was just upright at the bottom of the deck. I'm taking it. Let me go ahead and make sure. Yes, I just wanted to double check that they were all in frame for you. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go over these. I actually just love this so much for you, group number 1. So first of all, we have the Chariot. This person and the Sun. I'm going to read them together. This person that you meet is very much like in control of what they're doing, not in a bad way. This is a person who's just very decisive. They know what they want, and they go towards those things that they want. So when you meet them, they're gonna be, there's not gonna be all this hem and haw and like, oh, are they looking at me? Like, oh, do they want to talk to me? Do they just want to be friends? Do they want to go on a date? What does this mean? You're not gonna get this from them. They're gonna be very sure of themselves, and they're gonna approach you appropriately. Okay, so Or if this is someone who, a guy or someone who's okay approaching, like you're going to be very sure about approaching this person. They're going to be very sure of themselves, and you're not going to be like, do they like me? Are they interested? Or do they actually want to go out with me? Like, there's not going to be any questions either way. Like, this person's very sure of themselves. They're decisive. They know what they want, and they go towards that. So I love that for you. And then with the sun, they also have a very charismatic and positive and happy demeanor. So you're going to see someone who they're going to seem very happy-go-lucky, and then they're also going to be very decisive. So in case you were thinking those two things existed on two different planets with people, this person's going to change your mind, because they're going to be able to be very happy. They're going to be able to interact with you well, and maybe really funny. You're just going to have a good time together, and you're not going to have to wonder, is this person just friendly, or are they focusing on me? They're going to make sure that you can tell, that they are interested. They're not going to try to lose you because they weren't clear enough. With the Four of Wands, that is just the perfect card. It's about foundation in your relationships and your familial ties. So this is going to be this next person is going to be very foundational. You're going to have a very good foundation in this relationship. It's going to be very steady. Okay? You're going to have very quick, a very, calm, cool, collected, interaction with them, where you feel like you guys are level and can coexist calmly with each other. It's going to feel like you're going to be able to tie your lives in together very easily. It's not going to take a lot of work. It's just going to feel very natural, and that it moves forward very smoothly. With the Devil in reverse, I'm going to say whatever bad habits they may have had in their past, they've cut them out, they've cut them off. I think you may learn from this person that in the past they may have gone through some things. They may have gone through they may be addictions, or just may have been ties to certain people that were very strong but were very negative. And yeah, this may be the type of person who has a lot of skeletons in their closet, which may be surprising for you to learn. You may be surprised, like, wow, this person really has their stuff together, to learn that they have certain skeletons in their closet. But what Spirit's telling me with this in reverse is that they've moved past that. So, and those things have, maybe just made them stronger because they're able to develop out of those situations. And that may be why they have the Chariot energy. That may be why they're very decisive and happy now, because they're like, oof, I'm not doing any of that stuff anymore. That is my past. And then we have the Fool, which is great. It may not seem at first like the best card, but the Fool is actually about a new adventure, a new journey, a new life, starting anew. So they are ready to start anew with you. You guys are going to move forward together, and this relationship's not going to have anything to do with old drama, no old relationship nonsense dragging itself into your guys' stuff. It really is going to be a new journey, the two of you together, which I absolutely love. So let's see what we have with the Oracle card, and we have card number 11, and it's by the book. So I'm going to go ahead and look at number 11. So just so you are aware, this particular book has multiple different definitions for the card. We're not going to read all of them. We're just going to read the essential one, and then the little paragraph that is about relationships. And this is the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. So, by the book, abiding by social rules, conformity, respecting cultural or family customs, universal laws. The universe works within a structure of divine laws and principles that provide the framework for human experience and evolution. The law of abundance, the law of prayer, the law of karma, the law of attraction, the law of thought, the law of compensation, and the law of nature are only a few that are known. These principles create perfect order and operate with a kind of precision beyond human understanding. Even revolution has its place in universal law. Human beings in turn have their own laws and customs that are that vary from culture to culture and family to family. Laws keep social order and govern behavior, reflecting an instinctive understanding that harmony is important. This is a time to learn these laws and conform to them rather than being the rebel and flouting them. When this card appears, submit to structure and follow the rules, even if they seem to make no sense. Release resistance, for universal laws will correct any disharmony. Open your eyes to those universal laws, and it will be easier to go by the book at this time. Okay, so again, I'm seeing, what this is saying is I'm seeing that the two of you are very traditional. And when I say that, I don't want to scare anyone away who's like, I'm watching a tarot video right now. What do you mean? What I mean by that, by traditional, is that there are traditions that you have that you both support, that you both go by. It doesn't have to be any particular cultural or religion structures, just that the two of you have certain standards that you live by, and they're, in community, they're on the same wavelength. You're on the same page as far as what should be done and then what you do. And if there's any sort of like weirdness, it's just going to be a wrinkle. I don't see any blowouts happening because the two of you just believe completely different things. I feel like the two of you, like I said, it's going to feel very natural with the two of you together. So as far as culture and dynamics, it may even seem like you never have that conversation, or you never need to go over it, and that's because we're on the same wavelength. There's nothing that needs to be discussed in that area, which is great. So, relationship message: getting along with others entails understanding and respecting who they have become as a result of their environment, culture, and experience. Find the middle ground that allows the relationship to flourish while honoring the individuality of the other person. Play things by the book instead of trying to break the rules or pressure others to conform to the way you want to do them. Your connection will deepen as a result. Yeah, so I feel like both of you, like I said, are on the same wavelength and can easily fall into each other's cultures and traditions. Whatever the core beliefs are between that the two of you have, they'll merge really easily, even if to others it seems like you have differing viewpoints. And the only thing I really see, at least in these cards, as far as any sort of possible friction, would be the devil in reverse. Again, this person may come with like a history, but it's not going to be relevant to you as far as and it's relevant to who they are now and who they have become, but it's not relevant in the sense that they're not bringing any of that old energy into their new relationship with you. So I hope that resonated. If it did, like and subscribe below. I'd love to see you in the Empress's court, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hello, group number 2. If you picked this card or the Moonstone, you are in the right place. So, if you haven't been to one of these before, we start off with the one oracle card, the kind of summary of your overall message, and then we end on an oracle card to kind of summarize things at the end. Today we are doing New Year, New Love. So we're going to start off with one set that is going to be how you will meet this person, and then another set, how is this person? So what are they like, their energy, their personality, and the person you will be meeting. So, okay. Barely got to shuffle. First card on how you'll meet them. We got that. What else do we have? We have the Magician in reverse. I'm gonna go ahead and put this upright, kind of sideways, but. And then 6 of Wands. I love the 6 of Wands in this deck. It's like cotton candy with the pink and blue. Let's see, we can do 2 more cards. So this one kind of flipped up. Strength, love that. Also a very beautiful card. I love my new decks. You're gonna get both of my new decks in here. And okay, the 5 of Pentacles. 1 second. I'm gonna shove this in here. Let's see. Can everything fit? Can it? We'll go ahead and check. Yes. Okay. Perfect. Actually, I might scoot this over a little bit. Sorry, I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes with the layout. Just want to make sure you can see anything. And let's go ahead and look at She Who Grants Wishes. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce her first name, but for your summary of the overall reading, She Who Grants Wishes dances among the stars in purple and gold. Her eyes gaze downward to catch all the wishes being made, while she can't acknowledge every wish. She waits for the ones that truly touch her heart. Aww. And while she carries displays the bright light of hope, we all stand up. This is her energy, her gift, what motivates her to continue her dance and to hold her attitude of listening. She tells you to define what you want. What are your wishes? What is your heart's desire? Do not answer too quickly. Sometimes we wish for a horse, and what we truly desire is movement. Interesting. Your duty to yourself is to dig deeply into your own wants and needs. Heed the proverb, be careful what you wish for, you may get it. So she who grants wishes requires you to apply discretion before you say what it is you think you want. Her goal is not to withhold things from you. She merely hopes you will not waste the gift of a wish today. This card brings work, but also fulfillment. This is a very, very interesting card. Really, what I'm getting here, the short version is, don't waste your time with people who aren't worth it for you. I feel like with the Death card straight away and the Magician in reverse is we're getting rid of an energy in the new year, and we may immediately find this person, but I almost feel like you're someone who tends to have a lot of options. You have a lot of people running through your life who you could be with, who you could talk to, like maybe you're interested in. And with the Death card, what I'm really seeing with the Magician in reverse, and just in general the She Who Wishes, that you really want love, you're proactively looking for it, but maybe you've had experiences in the past where you've chosen too quickly, and so you've been rotating out, and you may feel a little worn out from having to do this choosing all the time. And so Spirit's just letting you know, like, you can slow down. You can slow down with the process and just kind of let things flow a little naturally. Don't say yes to every invitation if you kind of get a vibe from the get-go that one may not be right for you. You're probably right. Your instincts are probably right. That's usually how that works. So don't, hesitate too much if it just feels wrong, even if you can't specifically name the reason. And I feel like because that's your energy, and maybe you kind of or that you're more proactive in looking for people and going on dates, that it may be that you started something, it seemed okay for a while, and then when it ends you have someone else lined up, not because there's overlap, but just because you're always proactive, and maybe this wasn't like an official relationship, right? If you were dating someone for 3 months, it didn't become official, and things kind of like pittered out. But when you meet this person, you're gonna know right away with the Six of Wands that you have a victory. And really what the Six of Wands is, victory. You found someone, and it's the person you were looking for. So try not to get too worn out. You can afford to go a little bit more slowly, especially if you're just a very proactive person. Because again, you will have those options of people you can see if the person in front of you isn't exactly what you're looking for. And when you meet that right person, you will know. It'll be very in your face. Like, this is a winner. This is someone that I can pursue more, and it would make sense too. I'm also seeing for you that you have the Strength card. And I really feel like where this is placed in your reading, it's that all that effort really is going to pay off. That's what I'm really feeling with this card. It may not seem like it has in the past, but you only need to have the right person that one time for it to really work, right? So you may feel a little on that other side now, like, oh, I've reached the end of the year, I don't have my person, I'm talking to people, but there's no one I feel like solidifying things with. When you find that person, you will in the new year, and it'll click right away. Like, this is right. It was worth it. It was worth all that energy. Everything here truly makes sense, and that's what we want. And then we have the Five of Pentacles here. With the Five of Pentacles, this is feeling like we don't have what we need in the financial sector. I don't know if in something to do with our past relationships that's hit you financially in some way, if you are spending a lot of money on dates or gifts, or you just had a relationship where there was mixed funds, or you lived with someone and you had to move out, what have you, but you may be feeling at this time that the funds are low, basically. I just want to let you know with this card coming in here that there's always a potential, obviously, for growth, and also that the Five of Pentacles is also about, closed mouths don't get fed. Don't kind of be there on your own with no support. There's probably a way that this is fixable that you haven't looked into that has caused this to be more of a burden in your past relationships than it needed to be. So looking forward and moving into that next relationship, be careful of that and be mindful of the fact that it doesn't actually have to be a burden on your relationship overall, and be mindful of how you're going to fix that before moving into the next steps with your new person. But other than that, I feel like when you meet this person, it's going to be, you're going to notice that they're different from the people you've met in the past. And at least so far, I'm seeing that you're just going to meet them after having gone through this very cyclical thing of like always meeting new people, and they're going to stand out from being different. So different how? Let's see. We get our first card, Eight of Swords. Interesting. This is also a new deck, so I haven't seen all the cards in this deck yet. So we're both, some of these cards will be both of our first times seeing them with this particular artwork. Oh, interesting. Ace of Wands is already flipped over in the deck. They should not be. I don't put surprises like that in the deck for myself. Let's see. King of Wands energy. We love that. And then the High Priestess. Just so you know, I always put the High Priestess upright. I don't read the High Priestess in reverse. I just don't see the point. For reasons, I feel like it's almost identical energy either way. So why reverse it? And one more card for you. Let's see what we get here. And we get the Hierophant. Oh, very interesting. We didn't get the Hierophant. We got a card out tradition in the other reading as well. But that's neither here nor there. So, how is this person that you're going to meet like? We have the Eight of Swords, and we have the Ace of Wands. I feel like this person is going to have just come out of a long-term relationship. And so they just kind of got out of that burdened feeling, or not the relationship's burden, but they just got out of it. So they may have felt very tied to that near the end. They may have felt burdened near the end of their last relationship. And when they meet you, they're in a mindset and a vibe of feeling very free. That they've gotten out of that situation and they're no longer like bound or trapped by whatever situation they were in before. They're definitely moving forward in the relationship. They want to get into something new. And with the Ace of Wands, I'm seeing that the Ace of Wands and then the King of Wands. The Ace of Wands, they're starting a new passion. Something new has come in, has entered into their life. And they're moving towards whatever this new passion is. It could be work. It could be just the relationship itself. It could be a new hobby. But they have a very... You can see that fire in them. I mean, that's kind of a basic way to say the best fire cards. But when you have the Ace of Wands and then the King of Wands, this person is really about moving forward with things they care about, like not forcefully, but like very passionately. They when they care, they really care. And with the King of Wands, it's not only about like that new spark of passion, but they're really passionate about meeting you. I think that's part of what probably makes the Six of Wands. I'm noticing out. There's a lot of fire energies, a lot of suns in your reading here. They're really, really, really happy, really passionate about this relationship too. There's gonna be no guessing work, and I think that's also what makes them so different. You're gonna see a lot of positive energy. You're gonna see a lot of passionate energy. You're gonna see a lot of just declaring and making it very, very, very clear that this is what they want and that they're excited to move forward. There's not gonna be any guesswork there. And then with the High Priestess here, there's going to be a lot of, I feel like, feeling like you're on the same page without even having to discuss it. Almost like you're just on the same wavelength, which of course is what everyone wants to hear. But usually that takes a little bit of work. I feel like with the two of you, it's going to be from day one. From day one, you're going to be, oh my god, that line from Frozen, which is like, finish each other's sandwiches. But you guys are really going to be finishing each other's sentences and thoughts and ideas because, you may find out you want to do something and then you get home and the other person's like, oh, what if we do this? Like, really on the same wavelength all the time. It's just going to feel like, I hate to say meant to be because, we want to be careful of that. We don't want to put the blinders on because we feel like someone's meant for us. But it's going to feel like, wow, like things keep happening where we are like legitly on the same page. This is crazy, This is not something I've seen before. So it's very cool. It's just going to feel, you're going to get a lot of those surprises, but good surprises. It's like, oh, they think that too? Oh, they were going to do that? Oh, wow, they like this thing too? It's going to keep coming up like that because you guys are, really, again, I keep saying it, but you're on the same wavelength. And then with the Hierophant, that card is about tradition, about being on the same page, believing the same things, having the same cultural traditions. It doesn't have to be any particular like religious or cultural thing specifically, but whatever it is, you two are on the same way. Your lives basically have the same structure to them, which just adds to the whole High Priestess thing and feeling like you guys are on the same page. So there won't be too much to work out there. You're really gonna have someone come in who's like ready, from 0 to 100 to be in this connection with you. And it's so funny that we have like go the distance as your summarizing card. So I don't have any more tarot cards for you, but I do have this last oracle card. So let's go ahead and look at number 47. 47 is really far in the back. Let's see, is that it? 48, of course, not too far. Go the distance. So this particular deck has a lot of different readings for it. I'm only going to read the main one, and then I'm going to read the romance one. There's going to be other paragraphs in the back, as you can see. We're not going to go over those. We're going to go the ones that are relevant. So, go the distance, endurance, strength, long haul. To bring your dream to life, you must think long-term and pay no attention to the fluctuations in the current of your experience. Joy and disappointment commingle with opportunities, so that there is no need to fear the occasional obstacle. Life is not a sprint. This card is a reminder that you have endurance, strength, and fortitude to carry you all the way. Remain true to yourself. Your authenticity alone will keep you in alignment with the energy of miracles. What is yours will never be withheld from you. Remember that. Exactly. So when you're on that same wavelength, it's going to be very, very clear. You either are in or are calling in a harmonious relationship that can stand the test of time. There you go. For better or worse, as you ride the ups and downs and even trying to break yourself and are remade in new growth, you are being redeemed by the power of regeneration. Harmony does not mean there will never be a wrong note played, but that the relationship is marked by endurance and dedication to overall unity. New songs can be written and an instrument can be tuned, and the symphony of love will play on. Listen with your heart. Isn't it magnificent? So yeah, I really feel like this is going to be a very passionate and healthy, happy, smooth relationship. We just gotta get through those ones that aren't for you. And this new person comes in, they're really gonna make themselves known. So if that resonated with you, Like and subscribe below. I'd love to see you in the Empress's court, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hello, group number 3. If you pick the orange and white calcite or Valaris, this is your group. So we are going to answer today, New Year, New Love. And if you have not been here before, the first card is the Oracle card that will summarize your whole reading, and then we have an Oracle card at the end that will be kind of a summarization, and then your tarot cards will be in the middle. So let's get started. First with Valaris. Here, there you go. She who flies locks eyes with you, and you know they are the windows to your soul. What do your eyes tell you when you peer into a mirror? A lovely wild woman holds you in her gaze, challenging you to ponder what your own animal self might answer. She's the feminine spirit of Icarus, who dared to fly so close to the sun the bird's skull represents the thought of going too high. This is a reminder of what can happen, but the feathers point out the wild soul's call to fly. The message of this card is, don't hide from your dream seeker. Do not give into crazy flights of fancy. Spread your wings as wide as you dare, but also listen to the advice of those who may have also dreamed, also flown and survived the fall. Remember, many great things have come about because of those who dreamed but failed. Your failures propel you forward towards your successes. Now launch yourself, dreamer. Should your big, wonderful heart so your soul can take flight. Don't fear the fall, embrace the flight. Okay, so big dreams, big moves. I'm getting, have you moved toward a relationship before? Maybe it's new for you to be seeking out relationships. Maybe you've had a little bit of a pause. Or maybe you're going to be seeking new types of relationships in the new year. Let's see. Woo. So the first line of cards is going to be about how you meet this person. The second line of cards is going to be how this person is, their demeanor, their attitude, their personality. We're really going to look into the Knight of Wands. Let's see. Two of Pentacles. The Page of Cups. Okay. So starting off with how you meet this person, we have the Ace of Swords. And the World in reverse. I feel like in the new coming year, there may be some ups and downs with your love life. There may be a lot of will we, won't they energy with a couple of different people, because I have the Ace of Swords, which is new thoughts, new facts, new something coming in. And then we have the World in reverse, which is a cycle ending. So I'm seeing that something comes in and changes how you feel about a certain relationship or how you feel about pursuing relationships in general. I just feel like a shift in the energy. I'm not getting with these two cards what exactly that shift is. With She Who Flies and Dare to Reach, where it's kind of reaching for your dreams, I feel like it may just be the type of relationships you are in. You may have been settling with someone, or you may have settled with someone in your near past, or with someone you start a relationship with in the near future. Maybe you're talking to someone and you start to think, oh, they're okay. And some new information comes in where you're like, I don't really want this, and we're gonna stick to that truth, okay? Like, believe your instincts. If there's something's off, even if it's not like this is a horrible person, but just feel it for you, believe that. With the Knight of Wands, I feel like there's gonna come someone who comes in who's gonna be very passionate about you and the relationship. That's what the Wands are about in general. And with the Knight of Wands, is someone who's very proactive in pursuing you. So this may be the impetus that like someone comes in who's a lot more persistent and realizes that's what I want, or this shift may come beforehand where you're kind of figuring out like the way I've been doing things and finding a relationship hasn't been working for me. Even if I've been finding people, like I'm just not getting me the caliber of person that I want. And after you make the decision to change, then someone comes in who's more of what you're looking for. So either things can be true for the collective. Just know that there's going to be some change. If it hasn't happened already, there will be some change in the new year in how you think about how you go about getting into relationships. And that's what's going to start moving things forward. The Two of Pentacles, we have balancing. Having a lot of things come towards you and balancing these new things. So I almost feel like it may not be a whole lot of options, but it may be like you start seeing things where it's like, okay, usually I'm seeking one person at a time. You may in the new year be in a situation where you have a couple of people who are looking for you, maybe a couple of people who want to speak to you, maybe a couple of people who are interested in you. And in that case, you may feel like, oh my goodness, no, I'm balancing multiple things, multiple people, multiple situations. But you will be able to balance it. It may be a new energy for you, a different energy than what you're used to, but it won't be anything negative. It'll just be a new pace. Know that you will be okay. Having to maybe decide between different people or different situations, or moving through different options faster. It's just going to be a new pace for you, and that's totally fine. Page of Cups is, interesting enough, new love coming in, especially in this type of reading. We're talking just about emotions, so new love coming in. So I just think it's a very good sign that you will have new romance coming in the new year. So let's see what this, okay. We're gonna do that over. These cards, I feel like I get new cards of these decks very quickly. I don't know if I just have not gotten used to shuffling them yet, probably, or these are a lot more glossy than a lot of the cards that I have. The Hierophant, interesting. Well, let's see what this person's like. Okay, Temperance. Very nice. Which is also about balance, by the way. So, love when things like that come full circle. The Chariot in reverse. Strength. This one definitely started to come up. And the Nine of Wands in reverse. Okay. Love that for you. So, with the Hierophant, this person coming in is going to be either very traditional or just has the same values as you. That's what it is at the end of the day. This person is going to have shared values. But I know it can feel very obvious, but sometimes, we have two people who have very different values than us, but there's some other glue that's holding us together. We're able to compromise, or we're just able to see each other's view and allow people to be very different from us and still have them near us. But yours are just going to have the same value set, and it's going to be very easy. With the Temperance card, this person may seem like a little bit of an oxymoron. They may be mixing different characteristics, personality types, visuals than you've used to seeing together, but they manage to balance it very well. So it's hard to measure that in one person until you see that person in front of you, and maybe someone who their first impression just doesn't match who they are. And so the more you get to know them, you're like, oh, wow, that's not what I expected from them at all. Or it may just be they have a lot of eclectic interests. Either way, this person is going to really seem different from what you expect. And that probably has a lot to do with the fact that you're looking for something different, and then you meet this person, right? So the way you've gone around looking for someone changes, and therefore the person that you find changes. With the Chariot in reverse, I think that this person is very good with the flow. They're not about being in control of the situation. They like to see how things unfold and act accordingly. So you may be more of the decision maker in this dynamic just because they like to lay back and see how things are. So very easy to get along with. And then we have strength, and the 9 of Wands in reverse. The 9 of Wands in reverse, I see that this person really calms your nervous system. They're really going to be able to keep your anxiety and any questions you have at bay just by how they are. And maybe because they're very good with the flow, maybe other things, but you're really going to be able to relax with them. And then we have strength. They're a very strong individual. They're very, they know who they are. They don't let other things persuade who they are, who their character is, and how they identify. They know who they are in every situation and in every room, and that's really gonna pull you towards each other. Them just being very grounded helps you be grounded, and that's not to say that you aren't already, but this person is just gonna enhance that in both of you and in the relationship. Now going to Observer at 49. Summarize everything. 49. Perspective, objectivity, neutral observation from a distance. Most people see the world through a personal lens. They closely identify with their feelings and experiences so much so that they can come to believe that these are the only reality. There are times when you need distance in order to gain the perspective and understand your circumstances from a more neutral vantage point. Now is one of those times in your life. This is a perfect moment for you to begin to do some exploring. Instead of only considering yourself, consider what you need to understand about the conditions, people, culture, and environment you're engaged with now. You'll be so happy you did. Illumination is a miracle you seek and will indeed find. Okay. You're getting exactly what you're looking for, right? I'm from a neutral place. So again, I think this speaks to, again, changing your perspective, your vantage point, right? The observer. You change your perspective and then you align with something new. Relationship message. Sometimes you just can't see the forest for the trees in your way. Things can get all jumbled up, and often you hear one thing when a person says another. It can be like an echo of unresolved past experience step over your conversation. Take time out before you react. It's likely the other person has no idea how his or her words have affected you. Take a few steps back and lend understanding to the situation. Have faith in your connection and trust that you can come together. Take to higher ground now and cultivate curiosity about what you observe in yourself and others in the landscape. You will find things much improved sooner than you know. So this is about conflict, and I think this goes back to temperance and mixing things that you don't think will mix together, and then Hierophant. If anything comes up with this person, I think it'll be clear that at the end of the day, your foundations are the same, even if it doesn't seem like it at first, and that you guys will be able to balance it out with each other. So I hope that resonated. If it did, like and subscribe below. I'd love to see you in the Empress's court, and I will see you next time. Bye.